Hey, your viewers and viewers, my name is General Strategist, and welcome back to Danganronpa 2, Goodbye Despair. This is episode 25. We're about to head into the third murder trial case, or rather into the third trial even, so yeah. Welcome back then, everybody. Now, remember, of course, Ibuki and Hiyoko are the victims this time round. We've got a double whammy. So, thing is, of course, it's been a while since my last recording session here, so I've had to kind of refresh my memory a little bit in terms of everything that we found out. So Ibuki was found hanged in the music venue Titi Typhoon. Hajime originally discovered her after seeing that strange video on the screen in the hospital lobby, which normally I think plays at like 10:30 in the morning, something like that, or 8:30, whenever it is. No, 8:30 in the morning, 7:30, 8:30, whatever it is. I keep forgetting when the morning announcement actually takes place. But he saw that video of someone with a bag on their head approaching, going up the ladder with the noose above, and then it cut out. He recognised it as a music venue, and he raced there, found, of course, the person who was hanging, went off to get everyone else. They went back to the music venue a bit later, not long later, I think it was about 10 minutes or something, and then they found Hiyoko, who was kind of tied to one of the music venue pillars with duct tape, and her throat had been slit. That's the thing. So this is an interesting one, because of course we've had this whole thing with the screens, and the timing of it I think is going to be very interesting. I think that's going to be the key to unlocking this one, because everything seems to have happened in such a short kind of frame of time, which is very, very weird. But there's obviously outstanding questions that I have about the kind of monitor setup that the students have made here, between the music venue and the hospital. And like, for example, can you record video and then broadcast it? Or can you manually broadcast whenever you want to? Or, does it just automatically do it at the times that they've pre-allocated to it? If you know what I mean. I don't know. So yeah, I'm not sure. Of course, we went also up to the conference room, I think it was, in the hospital, and we saw some interesting stuff there, which potentially adds a whole other angle to it. So I think there was the black curtain in the conference room, wasn't there, that makes it completely dark. And I was thinking that that black curtain kind of looks similar to the one in the music venue on the back of the stage. Or one of the ones... Did we see it on the stage, or was it in the storage room, like all rolled up? I can't quite remember now. But it doesn't matter. Regardless of what it is that potentially adds a whole other angle, because that, I've now had the thought, what if that video that Hajime saw, what if that wasn't Ibuki actually climbing the ladder? What if that was someone pretending to be Ibuki and was doing that in the conference room of the hotel? The hospital even. Because if that's the case, then that suggests that we, really need to establish the timeline in which things happened here. Okay, right, that's enough of me gassing, let's get on with it. Everyone who had heard the announcement had gathered in front of Monokuma Rock. That's soon enough. Here he is, our favourite bear. Is everybody here? Do you guys want to go to the class trial?
Wait!
Hey, Jerk, hold it right there.
Monomi's such a dumb child.
What? Don't get in my way. You're just a dumb little sister who's short a few brain cells.
Hey!
My brain works just fine.
Hey!
Monokuma, what do you do with Nekomaru? Yeah, we've still not had any sign of him, have we? I see. So you've come to avenge him.
Yes?
Avenge? That sounds like he died. Sounds like, you say. Oops.
Anyway...
Since Nekomaru's unfortunately unavailable today, let's just say he's absent.
Bye-bye.
Now then, I gotta go first.
I won't let you.
Hold on, I won't let you escape.
Hey!
G'day, mate, say, did you hear what he said?
Huh?
What was that sound you just produced there? Hey, Louie, don't worry about it, there's no way Nekomaru's dead, he's just trying to piss us off.
Damn it!
Well, of course he's not dead. There's no way, not in a million years.
Well...
More importantly, it's best if we worry about ourselves for now. If something happens here, every one of us except Nekomaru will die. Oh, blimey, why are you so excited about that?
How about it?
Who knows, maybe I'm just looking forward to seeing poetic justice prevail.
What do you yearn for?
Oh, Kai, what are you saying, fiend? You'll find out soon enough.
See?
Let's go.
I'm gonna do it!
Alright, let's hurry up and get this over with. Alright, you righty swab. To Monokuma Rock then. Let's go. I've learned my lesson, you know. There's no point clicking all of them just because they never had anything to say, you know. That fantastic escalator. Arr, we stepped onto the escalator and ascended toward the gaping maw of Monokuma Rock. Arr. And that's when I suddenly noticed it. I noticed our lined up silhouettes keep getting smaller and smaller, arr. But I can't turn back now. If I turn back I won't be able to press forward, arr. Hajime is having the usual protagonist monologue. Let's go! Jesus. And when everyone was inside Monokuma Rock, we went down to the treasure caverns. Although it just shakes like crazy. The elevator began its deep descent as usual, arr. But nobody said a word. As we stood there trying to figure out what to say to each other, the elevator descended deeper and deeper into the briny depths. Here's Hajime. Oh, Captain, my lad. And when it descended as far as it could go, it finally stopped. The elevator doors opened slowly, almost tantalisingly so, light poured through from the other side, eroding the boundaries of the darkness. And I walked into that there abyss. Ooh. Interesting design. My, it feels pretty toothless with all these empty seats. Well, 2 people got killed at the same time, and Nekomaru's not here either.
Hey!
Is Nekomaru really not participating? If he's alive, you should invite him.
No!
Why bother?
That's...
Wait, that was Hajime's voice, what I'm doing. What?
Well now.
Now then, let's begin.
Yoo-hoo!
It's the beginning of the long-awaited class trial. Please enjoy it to your heart's content. Off you go, Monokuma. And so, the curtain to the 3rd class trial was about to open. Ibuki Miyoda, the ultimate musician. She was really loud, but she was the mood maker of our ship. When I was with her, all my pain and suffering just seemed to melt away. Hiyoko Sayonji, the ultimate traditional dancer, the little bitch. Just from looking at her adorable face, you'd never know she was actually selfish and foul-mouthed, a little twat. But she was trying to change herself. Was she now? I don't even remember seeing that very much, but whatever. And she was desperately trying to come to terms with Mahiru's death. The person who killed those 2 be lurking among us, arr. Here we go. I definitely can't believe it. But whether I believe it or not is irrelevant, arr. Unless I figure out the truth, I won't be able to escape from this hell, arr. That's why I must find out, no matter the cost. For our sake, for our friend's sake, for Ibuki and Hiyoko's sake. And so, the curtain to the 3rd class trial was about to open. This life-threatening trial, billowing with open despair, has begun. The usual monologue. Okay, let's save. Slot 17, yes. Okay. Now, did I get any more? Oof, 29 or 43. I could get some more skill points going up here. Right, did I have this equipped? Oh yeah, I did have it equipped, okay. Yeah, so, do we have others that we don't have equipped? Cheat code. Time limit doesn't decrease even if you shoot a statement with the silencer. Effective during the non-stop debate, cannot be combined with Infinity Unlimited Flame, whatever that is. Okay, we could use cheat code. Delusion, we've got equip, melodious voice, vocabulary, ambidextrousness. Wow, and that's all we've got there, okay. Well, we'll equip that, because we've got, you know, a fair amount of stuff going. Can I, go to Monami very quick, and just maybe trade in and get some more skills, perhaps? Let's see. Charisma, I've only got 5, okay. What's this one? Lost in Thought. Slightly increases the time limit for each phase. Effective during the class trial. Okay. Extraordinary Focus. God, sorry. Did I just burp as I was talking there? Extraordinary Focus. Slightly increases focus gauge. Effective during class trial, cannot be combined with Menacing Focus. Attentive Influence. Okay, okay. Cool and Composed. Steadies your aim. Effective during non-stop debate. Cannot be combined with Tranquility. Downshift. Reduces aiming speed. Increases aiming speed. Trigger happy. Decreases delay between firing truth bullets. Effective during non-stop debate and rebuttal showdown. That could be a good one. Trigger happy. Algorithm. Increases speed of memorising statement. That could also be a good one. If we have to lift something someone said. Delusion. These ones I've got, I'm guessing. Mood Maker. Excellent Blade. Sharpness increases by 2. You know, the Rebuttal Showdown is one that obviously, you know, I still am a bit frosty on sometimes, so maybe that would be a good one. Clock Up, increases max speed, effective during Logic Dive. Oh yeah, that new, strange new mechanic we've got. Maneuver, Moonsault. Okay, I think I'll get the Excellent Blade. Nope, yep. Got myself a skill, and I've got 1 skill point. There are ones that only require 1. Maybe these then? I don't know. Yeah, shall we get... Actually, I won't bother with one of them. What we'll do is we'll go back here. We'll just set that skill. Wherever it is. Cheat Code, Delusion, Melodious Voice, Ambidextrousness, Excellent Blade. Put that one on. There we are. There's no others. Okay, right. Open E-Handbook. Hold on. Wait. No, it's changed difficulty. Truth Bullets. Okay, because you know me, I always go through these. So, 2 victims, Ibuki Miyoda, Hiyoko. Ibuki cause of death, crushed windpipe as a result of choking, of course when she hung, or hanged, when she was hanged. No other external injuries, Hiyoko, Sayonji's cause of death, blood loss due to her throat being slit by a sharp-edged tool. It appears her death was instant. Yes. Must have really done some damage to Hiyoko's throat, in order for that to, you know, be an instant death. Because I think I've said this before, but, you know, having your throat slit does not sound like a fast way to die. Because, of course, you know, you have to bleed out first. So, I mean, I guess it wouldn't be too long, but still, I think it wouldn't be very nice, would it? So, we know that. Blood on the soles. Bloodstains on the soles of Ibuki's feet. Now, this is interesting. Because this makes me think that maybe... Ibuki wasn't dead when Hiyoko's throat was slit. Because you remember she obviously had that version of the despair disease where she was very suggestible rather. Or susceptible to suggestion, that's what I'm trying to say. So I'm thinking there's a good chance Hiyoko may have been killed before Ibuki was. No use for hanging. According to Mikan, there's no doubt, yeah, that's what killed her, right? Okay. Also, there was a thing actually about the music venue temperature being turned up, wasn't there? Presumably to try to interfere with the bodies. Motel room key to the motel room that Hiyoko's staying in. It was buried deep inside her kimono, so it was pretty difficult to retrieve. Yes, that's right. Scrap of thick paper, stuck to the batten lighting. So is that... I recall seeing that. Was that from the music venue storage room? Music venue curtain. Black curtain, yeah, so I was remembering this right. A black curtain at the very back of the music venue stage. Not wide enough to reach the side of the stage. Looks like it was brought from the supermarket and not something that was originally here. Okay, right. Interesting. So it originally came from the supermarket. Stepladder. Found on the music venue's tipped on its side. On its left side, a slight bloodstain can be seen. Now that bloodstain could be from when Hiyoko was killed. Quite possibly. Interesting. Candle. Now that was obviously from the video we saw. That was light from the candle that lit up the surveillance camera video. Right. Surveillance camera unit. This was inside the music venue for communication purposes. It's been smashed. No longer works. I'm guessing whoever did that did it to try and cover their tracks so that we couldn't maybe get Kazuichi to take a look at it or whatever. Interesting. AC temperature, now I mentioned this, yeah, cranked up to 86 Fahrenheit. Extremely hot inside the music venue because of that. Smudge on the floor, so yeah, evidence that a blood stain was wiped off the floor of the music venue stage. Ibuki had no open wounds, it's believed the blood belonged to Hiyoko. So clearly whoever's done it has probably attempted to clear up the blood. Because that's the thing. It didn't look like there was much blood, which is odd, you know, considering she's had her throat slit. Because if you had your throat slit, there would be a shit ton of blood. Semi-transparent glob. Now this was stuck... Yeah, because the music venue doors were stuck together, weren't they? That was a weird one. That was perhaps used to do it. Mikan's account, right until the Monokuma announcement that morning, Mikan was with Hajime the whole time. Afterwards she went to the hospital to check on everyone and realised that Ibuki had disappeared. When she rushed out of the hospital to search for Ibuki, she apparently met up with Fuyuhiko. Surveillance monitor video. Now this one, the creepy one. The video that Hajime saw at the hospital, it shows a person dressed in a hospital gown, wearing a handbag on their head as they willingly climb a stepladder toward a noose. Now just looking closely at that figure there, you don't really see any of Ibuki's hair coming out from under that, do you? Because when we found Ibuki's body hanging in the music venue, you could see her hair underneath the bag, but you can't see it there, which is what makes me wonder, is that Ibuki going up that stepladder or is it someone else? I don't know. Is this all a ruse? Fuyuhiko's account. After he met her in front of the hospital, they split up to search for Ibuki. They checked the movie theatre and Electric Avenue, but they didn't find anyone. Apparently Fuyuhiko and Mikan were only separated for a short time. Right. Sonia. Hiyoko was distraught because her kimono was dishevelled, unable to tie it on her own. That's when Sonia apparently told her about the full-length mirror in the music venue's storage room. Interesting. See, man. Does this... You see, there was a part of me that suspected, does this mean that Sonia could be a suspect? She's the one who sent Hiyoko there, but having said that, no, I don't think this is enough to pin her as a suspect. Because, well no, because obviously there's the whole thing with the key that Hiyoko had, right? Because if Sonia was with Hiyoko when she went to the music venue, if Sonia was the murderer, then she would have seen Hiyoko put the key in her kimono sash, right? Something like that. And of course, you know, why lure Hiyoko to the music venue? Why not just deal with friggin' Ibuki? Yeah. Sonia, you're above suspicion for the time being. Movie's invitation ticket. The invitation ticket prepared by Monokuma. One ticket was passed out per person. The date it was passed out is printed on the ticket. Shit, I've actually forgotten what that movie was. Monokuma's account. Monomi tote bag that was sold at the movie theatre. Limited item because only one person can buy it. You get another bag for free when you purchase it. So whoever purchased the bag is a potential suspect. Okay, here's the thing. The movie that Monokuma directed, there were a total of 3 deaths in the movie. First, Monomi Scarecrow died by hanging herself. Next, Monomi Lion was pumped full of arrows. Finally, Monomi Tin Man died by getting chopped into metal pieces. So whoever hung Ibuki, or got Ibuki to hang herself, whatever, must have watched this movie and then copied that particular death, right? Okay, right. So we've gone over all those. Let's see where we go. Straight into the trial then, everyone.
Now then, let's begin. During the class trial, if you vote correctly, then only I'll punish everyone Oh well, who cares about this boring explanation? Let's get on with it already!
Yes, does the explanation every time.
I don't mind starting the trial, but I don't really have a grasp of how the case played out. You know, because I was asleep the whole time.
Yes, you were in your hospital room because you had the liar disease, that variant of the despair disease, whatever it was. So, I mean, can we verify that? I mean, can I verify that? I don't know. I know we visited Nogito at some point in his room, but I can't remember when it was now, because it's been a good couple of weeks since my last recording.
Even if you do grasp it, you're just gonna confuse the heck out of us, aren't you?
But Nagito's not alone. I don't really get it either.
Well, you were ill too.
You're fine. Your head's empty anyway.
Wow, just say that out loud, why don't you?
Empty head? Huh. What's wrong with that? Listen up! The emptier your head, the more dreams you can stuff inside it, you know?
Let's not get sidetracked here.
Anyway, we shouldn't proceed with the trial if those two can't participate in the arguments.
Oh?
Since he's the first witness, why don't we ask Hajime to explain the incident and the sequence of events?
Yes, thank you, Chiaki, for getting us back on track there.
Then, let's start with when we split into the hospital team and motel team because of the despair disease. The hospital team consisted of Nagito, Ibuki, and Akane, who were infected, and Mikan, Fuyuhiko, and me.
The other 5 on the motel team were myself, Gundam, Kazuichi, Chiaki, and Hyoko.
Spending the night at the hospital was prohibited, so Hajime and I had to sleep at our cottages.
I woke up at my cottage on the day the incident happened. Mikan came by to wake me up and told me that Nagito had recovered from his symptoms. We immediately headed over to the hospital, and after we confirmed his recovery...
Okay, so we did, yeah. That's right. We visited him. Now I remember.
I made Mikan rest in the on-call room, since she hadn't slept all night, while I waited in the hospital lobby. And then, I saw the incoming signal light on the surveillance camera blinking before our scheduled time. When I pressed the button to turn on the monitor, what appeared on screen was...
This.
A video of someone wearing a hospital gown and a hemp bag on their head, climbing a stepladder.
Amazing! That's such a heart-pounding story! And then what did you do, Hajime?
Shut the fuck up, dude. Don't patronize me.
I tried to stop them, of course. I rushed out of the hospital and ran to where the video was being recorded, the music venue. But it was too late. By the time I arrived, the person wearing the hemp bag on their head was already hanging from the ceiling.
Yes, you can see Ibuki's hair coming out of it there, can't you? Yeah.
I thought I should tell the others right away, so I headed to the motel.
Why the motel?
Because it was close to the music venue, and unlike the hospital, there were more able-bodied people there. At least, that's what I thought. But the only person who came with me was Chiaki.
But I remember feeling a little relieved because not long after, we met up with Mikan and Fuyuhiko.
We were also looking for Ibuki since she disappeared from our sight.
After I rested for a bit, I started counting everyone at the hospital.
By the way, incidentally, I should mention the, latest few trials in this game. Well, I've only had 2, but they've been, about 3 hours each? So there's a good chance that what I'm going to do with this trial is split it in half into 2 videos, and what I'll do is I'll upload one day, and then I'll upload the next one the day after, so that way, there's only a small gap between them.
And then I noticed Ibuki was gone, so I sprinted out of the hospital. Coincidentally, I ran into Fuyuhiko, so I pled with him in various ways to see if he could help me out.
Various ways?
Get your mind out the gutter, mate.
Don't say it like that and confuse people.
Yeah, your expression doesn't help matters.
After I heard from those 2 that Ibuki disappeared, I had a feeling she was the person wearing the hemp bag. So I immediately led them to the music venue.
But the door wouldn't open. Since we had no other option, the 4 of us broke down the door. And when that happened, we didn't just find Ibuki's body. We also found Hyoko's. And not just that. Her body was taped to a pillar.
That's when we heard the body discovery announcement. Not once, but twice in a row.
Apologies if you just heard me knocking my microphone then.
And so we decided to lower the hanged body, didn't we?
When we removed the hemp bag, just as we feared, it was Ibuki.
So that's how the case played out. Thank you. I understood it very easily.
Well, it's clear what the problem with this case is. When Hajime left the music venue, who...
Wait, how do I know anything Hajime just said is true? Sorry, I'm only being impartial right now. And the story I just heard is clearly suspicious. Hajime, if you're the only one who saw the hanging video, and the first one to discover Ibuki's body...
Well, you say he's not wrong to question it, because it is a very strange state of affairs.
Then you could be lying as much as you want right now, right?
Well, we're not, but I can forgive you for thinking that.
Lie? Why would I lie?
Obviously. So you could make us ignore what might be an inconvenient truth for you.
Do you doubt me?
If you're not lying, I would like you to prove it. Come on, try to prove it to me. Prove you're not the killer.
It's just as Kazuichi said, Nagito's the kind of guy who'll just confuse us and make matters worse. Damn it, I shouldn't have explained it to Nagito. I'm in trouble now thanks to that. It's alright. We can prove it. Terminal key, scrap of thick paper, surveillance camera unit, surveillance monitor video, movies invitation ticket, okay.
Hajime's testimony is clearly suspicious.
If Hajime's testimony is a lie, then the fact that Ibuki hung herself...
That would also be a lie.
I don't think I can deny that possibility. After all, Hajime's the only witness.
Why would Hajime lie?
Well, obviously because he's the killer.
Did Hajime kill both of them?
The fact that the bodies were imitating the movie means it probably is Hajime's fault.
Ah. I think I know. He says obviously imitating the movie, but I didn't see the movie until after. Yes, okay, so I used the movie ticket, right. Need to find that breakthrough. Yeah, I know, I've got
Hajime's testimony is clearly suspicious.
This one.
Hajime's testimony and the fact that Ibuki...
That would also...
I don't think I can... After all...
Why would Hajime...
Well, obviously...
Did Hajime...
The fact that the bodies were imitating means it probably is Hajime's fault.
Whoa. Damn it, it's too slow. Crap. No, I didn't mean to do that. Hold on. Balls did
Hajime's testimony...
If Hajime's... And the fact that Ibuki...
That would also...
I don't think I can... After all...
Why would Hajime...
Well, obviously...
Did Hajime kill both of them?
The fact that the bodies were imitating the movie.
There we go, got it.
No, that's wrong! I'm not the killer! I mean, there's no way I'd be able to imitate that movie. Of course you're not. I already knew that.
Jesus Christ. Well...
Huh? Before the incident, Hajime had never watched that movie. His invitation ticket is proof of that.
Well, could you not... Why did you send us down that rabbit hole, then?
Each person only received one ticket, and they're marked with a stamp that shows the date and time. Isn't that right, Monokuma?
Yes, no mistakes there.
Which means there's no way Hajime, who never saw the movie, could commit murders that imitated it. Or did anyone tell him what happens in the movie? Of course no one did, right?
Hold on a sec! You're the one who brought this up in the first place!
Nagito, what are you doing? Well, since we're opening with your witness testimony, I thought we should solidify the foundation. It also provides a good warm-up. What warm-up? This isn't a game, you know. Don't get mad. I just think warming up is really important. Especially since this isn't a game.
It's not a game, everyone. I'm not playing.
What a waste of time. Well, I knew it would turn out like this anyway.
Now then, since we know Hajime's testimony is reliable, let us move on to the arguments.
So this means Ibuki definitely climbed the stepladder all by herself, right?
Yeah, I'm positive.
Then that seals it! Ibuki committed suicide!
If Ibuki committed suicide, then who killed Hiyoko?
A murder coincidentally occurring in the same place as a suicide.
Jesus.
Ain't possible, huh?
Oh, dear.
Like I said before, it's pretty clear what the problem with this case is. The killer murdered Hiyoko while Hajime was gone. So all we gotta do is establish who could have possibly done that.
If we can establish the timing in which things actually happen, then maybe we can start to narrow it down, but...
Then let's ask Hajime. How long would you say you were away from the music venue?
I couldn't have been gone for more than 10 minutes.
So they killed Hiyoko and taped her up within 10 minutes? There's no way that's possible.
That's why the killer stalled for time by making the music venue a closed room.
What do you mean, a closed room?
The killer blocked the venue door from the inside to try and keep us from entering right away.
However, that door is the only entrance to the music venue, right?
Yeah, so they must have been in there then, the whole time.
If they blocked the door from the inside, the killer would not have been able to leave either.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Which means, when we broke down the venue door, the killer was still inside.
They were?
If that's the case, the only suspicious people are those who don't have an alibi for that time.
Will it be that simple, though?
And that's you two! Sonia and Kazuichi!
Me too?
What the hell? Why's it gotta be us?
The others all have alibis. Chiaki, Mikan, Hajime, and I all broke down the venue door together. Gundam met up with Hajime at the motel right before that. And if Akane and Nagito were laid up in the hospital, the only person that leaves is one of you.
There's another person who doesn't have an alibi. You know, Nekomaru.
He kind of does. His alibi is he's not even here.
Me too!
Wow, was that your impersonation of him?
Hey, why are you talking like... Huh? You're kidding, right? You're not up to something weird, are you?
Please stop making bad jokes.
Anyway, if the killer was hiding inside the venue, we should obviously doubt the people who don't have alibis.
What a wicked way of backing us into a wall! Is this his professional skill?
The killer was inside the music venue. Fuyuhiko obviously thinks so, but is that really it? See, we need to establish what the deal is with the glob and all that. Okay, I think it's going to be something with the glob here. I'm not sure. Just put this.
The killer was still
here
inside the music venue. By locking the door from the inside, they tried to keep us from getting in.
It seems they were trying to stall for time.
How did they lock the door? That door should not have had a lock.
The lock was on the floor in front of the door.
Are you talking about the broken drumstick?
You can use that as a bolt to lock the door. By doing that, the killer who was hiding inside waited till we gathered together and suddenly appeared.
I've got an achievement blowing through my screen.
So they look like they had just rushed over.
I have seen this in serial crime dramas.
Of course you have. Alright, so... Person's remark contradicts the truth. I should be able to prove that with my evidence.
The killer was still inside the music venue. By locking the door from the inside, they tried to keep us from getting in.
It seems they were trying to stall for time.
How did they lock the door? That door should not have had a lock.
The lock was on the floor in front of the door.
Are you talking about the broken drumstick?
You can use that as a bolt to lock the door. By doing that, the killer who was hiding inside waited till we gathered together and suddenly appeared.
So they look like they had just rushed over.
I have seen this in serial crime dramas.
Right. Somebody's contradicting the
The
truth.
killer was still inside the music venue.
I'm guessing if it's one of
By locking the door from the inside.
Okay, yeah.
No, that's wrong!
Got it right. I still don't get it with a semi-transparent glob.
Wait a sec. There's also a possibility that the door was locked from the outside.
From the outside? How?
There was a semi-transparent glob stuck to the venue door. Maybe that's what they used.
Semi-transparent glob? Like rubber, maybe?
Wasn't rubber at all. That semi-transparent glob's probably... Well, not... Well, it's put rubber up there, even though that's not. Glue, gum or gummy. Like glue, maybe?
I see!
Okay.
That semi-transparent glob must have been glue.
But then how did they get the drumstick on the inside? I don't understand. What?
Glue?
I mean, I could understand glue, yeah, if you put it on the insides of the doors, then you close them, it'll harden, stick them together. And you can do that if you're leaving. But the drumstick? How does that fit?
Yeah, I think so too. It had a firm, gel-like chewiness, and I could smell workshop chemicals the moment I put it in my mouth. Based on all that, I'm certain it was glue.
Have you tasted glue before? Or something?
I didn't know glue was edible.
It's not.
I believe it is not something one typically eats.
That glue was only applied to the areas where both doors touched. By pouring it in the gaps of the closed door, They must have sealed the venue door from the outside.
Well, you wouldn't even need to do that, would you? You just need to smear it up the doors and then close them together, right? Unless that would cause it to sort of bulge out, if you know what I mean.
And thanks to that, a glob of glue was left where the door was stuck. Yep, it fits perfectly.
But what about the drumstick?
But if you just stick them together with glue, you'd be able to break down the door easily, you know? That doesn't really matter. The killer only did that to make us think the door was locked from the inside.
What'd you say?
First of all, didn't that drumstick we found seem really obvious? Almost unnaturally so?
Okay. Let's hear your thought process.
It was so obvious that it makes more sense to think the killer placed it as a diversion.
Oh, so you're suggesting that maybe the drumstick wasn't in place at all, that maybe they broke it beforehand, put it on the floor, then did the trick with the door and the glue. So that way when we busted through it, it would look like it had been held shut by a drumstick. Okay, right, now I see where you're coming from.
Are you saying the drumstick was a trap the killer set on purpose? Then I totally fell for that fucking trap.
Apologize to Miss Sonia and me. However, you're not allowed to slice open your stomach this time.
In a quarrel, both sides are to blame. That's why it's better to just have no sides at all.
So, during the 10 minutes Hajime left the venue, the killer murdered Hiyoko and created a closed space?
Yeah, I doubt it as well. I think the timing of this is completely off.
And they also taped her up after killing her, right?
Yep.
Even quick work has limits.
Absolutely, yes.
Oh, what unimaginable speed for a slowpoke like me.
What?
If they couldn't have done it while Hajime was away from the venue, they must have done it earlier than that.
Yes. That is what I'm thinking as well. Earlier.
But when Hajime got to the venue, only Ibuki's body was there, right?
Hiyoko's body could have been there as well, in the storage room. Because we didn't check that, did we?
And when you went back with everyone else, Hiyoko's body was there too, right?
She was already dead.
But it's possible that the body was just revealed at that time, when Hiyoko was actually killed earlier.
Just revealed?
Of course, the body wasn't revealed on its own. The killer did that too. Here, I have proof.
This little piece of black paper.
That scrap of paper. Is that what we found in the baton lighting at the music venue?
And it was in the storage room, wasn't it? So presumably, was Hiyoko's body originally rolled up in that to hide it? Or was it close to that, maybe?
That's right, but just what is this scrap anyway?
Oh, that scrap that was stuck on the baton lighting in the music venue. Now I should be able to figure out what it is. What do we got? Oh, this one. Okay. What do we got? Oh, right. Is it, I was going to say curtain. What? This is a letter, I don't know what it is. Nope. It's not, it doesn't begin. Oh, shit. Get rid of that W. I'm not sure what the word is, actually, come to think of it. Can I... Oh, I can't cheat. Okay, it's something beginning with... Oh, shit, something just hit there. Something beginning with W, apparently. Nope, not that. Oh, careful. Oh, shit. Careful. Get rid of that. Okay, was something. Get rid of those. I don't know what the word is here. This is an odd one. Oh god, I'm not doing well here. I'm trying to think of the word and do it at the same time. Ah, maybe? No. Shit, careful. Wallpaper! Got it. Jeez, that took me a second, didn't it? Right, we just need a P now. Up here, there we go. Oh, careful. We need a P. Here we go. We need an E. And... shit. Yo! Shit. Got it. There we are. Wallpaper.
I got it!
There we are. Took me a moment, but I got it. I had to guess the first couple of letters, though.
That's scrap. Isn't it part of the wallpaper in the storage room? In the music venue storage room, there should have been black wallpaper that's the same color as that scrap. There was also a tear along the edge of the wallpaper, wasn't there? If so...
You're right. If you overlay the scrap that was caught on the lighting with the tear in the wallpaper... See? It fits perfectly.
I see. So the scrap that was caught on the baton lighting was originally part of the wallpaper.
And what's wrong with that? Does it have something to do with Hyoko's body disappearing?
A mere nobody like me isn't important enough to answer that. But if you guys were exceptional enough to identify that scrap of paper, you can figure this out easily.
That scrap of paper stuck to the baton lighting was part of that wallpaper I found in the storage room. Is it connected to the sudden appearance of Hyoko's body? If I trace it back from there, the answer should become clear. Alright, let's give this a try. Is it time for the logic dive? Yes, it is. Okay, so we're going to get our questions asked. Go snowboarding Hajime. It's a strange mechanic, this one, but I don't mind something a bit different every once in a while. Through these things, where's my first question? Whoa. Hajime, you got moves there, son. Whoa, we're getting faster and faster here, we're going through obstacles. Dear me. Question 1. Why did Hyoko's body suddenly appear at the crime scene? It was brought there hidden, I would say. It were hidden, lads and lasses. Probably in the storage room. Yep, got it right. There we are. Boost. Boost me. Yes. Give me a boost, bitches. I mean, it's an enjoyable mechanic, this, if a slightly very peculiar one. Whoop, careful. Go this way. Question 2. What did the killer use to hide the body? The wallpaper, I'm going to say. Here we are. Because we've just been talking about it. See? I'm smart. Secretly, I'm smart, you know. People wonder, how did I get to, you know, postgraduate level? Somehow I did. Oh god. Whoa, I just fell off. Okay. Didn't mean to do that. Oh, have I gone the right way here? Okay, we're fine. And... nice one, Hajime. Question 3. How did the killer hide her body with wallpaper? Covered the pillar. They formed a wall. Well, did they cut there? They can't cover the pillar with her body there, otherwise it would have bulged. So they must have formed a wall, right? No, it was apparently the other one. Okay, covered the pillar. Wait, what? But that would... Wait, what? Wait, they formed a... They covered the pillar? They covered the pillar.
It's all coming together!
Hang on, you're going to need to explain this to me. I think I'm missing something here. What might...
I got it! Hyoko's body was hidden before we found it.
But it would have taken quite a long time to tape up a hidden body.
She said it was already taped then.
No, the body was already taped up and the killer hid it, along with the pillar using the wallpaper.
Really?
What? They hid the pillar?
Yeah, by wrapping the wallpaper around the pillar, the killer was able to create a slightly larger pillar.
What, the entire pillar?
So when I first discovered Ibuki's body, Hyoko's body was already there.
Well, I guess that one on the right does look kinda... well, it is actually thicker than the other one. Okay, but you've got it... but what... well, that wallpaper's like so straight. That is so impractical, though. Huh. Wow, I mean... Okay, this is another of those weird little things. I said this before with Teru's case, you know, the whole thing about him shouting from beneath the floorboards. It was like the sound was apparently just completely clear. And then obviously the whole thing in the second trial about Peko using her sword as a kind of stepladder, even though it's dead thin and would surely give out underneath her body weight. This is another of those things, okay, which I guess, are we just supposed to kind of accept this? It just seems so... I don't know, like... Anyone who's ever tried kind of getting wallpaper to sort of create a cylindrical structure standing upright with nothing directly underneath to support it. That's so hard, though. That would have taken so much effort.
However, because it was concealed within a slightly larger pillar, I didn't realize that at the time.
Well, that's understandable. I mean, it makes sense that you'd notice Ibuki's body right away.
So they used the baton lighting on the ceiling to hang the wallpaper?
The baton lighting forms a perfect circle around the pillar, so using it to hang the wallpaper totally fits.
Right. Oh, right, so you're hanging it then in a cylindrical formation. Okay. Still seems a bit, unrealistic to me, but whatever.
Then, the reason the wallpaper was covered in so many stickers was to make it look like that pillar.
That's how they hid Hyoko's body, and then peeled off the wallpaper as soon as I left the music venue.
But the killer made a mistake. They accidentally ripped off a piece of the wallpaper. And because of that, a scrap was left on the baton lighting.
The killer must have been in a hurry. Their plan took too long. Hajime could have walked in on them.
But going to the trouble of hiding the body and the pillar is very bold and risky.
But the crime itself would be much easier to pull off since they don't have much to do while Hajime's gone. They just have to peel off that wallpaper and stash it in the storage room. It's not that big of a deal.
True. It does now make it possible for them to have left the venue in the 10 minutes between which Hajime found Ibuki's body and then went to get everyone else.
Then, when was Hyoko actually killed?
Much, much earlier, I'm guessing.
Good point. And on that note, it's about time we shed some light on those imitation murders.
You mentioned imitation murder more than once. But what is that?
Are you kidding me? You haven't seen my masterpiece? The Wizard of Monami 2.5D?
Hey, don't put my likeness in your movies without my permission.
You're pretty noisy for someone who eats mothballs.
Mothballs? That says mossballs there, but okay.
I don't eat mothballs. I just enjoy looking at them.
What are you two talking about?
I knew it. There are so many similarities. It must have been intentional.
Hold on. Have you seen the movie? Huh. Because we haven't mentioned anything about the movie yet, have we? In terms of actually what it contained. So have you seen it?
Ibuki's death by hanging matches the Scarecrow's death from the movie.
Wait, have you seen it as well?
Not just that, but Hyoko getting taped up after her death matches the lion's death.
Okay, can we establish here how many people have actually watched this movie?
It's as if both crimes were replicas of scenes from the movie, although the mutilated Tin Man was omitted.
But why did the killer go to all this trouble in the first place?
Based on what we know, the reason the killer chose these imitations isn't that difficult to figure out.
Okay. The reason the killer imitated the two victims in that movie, I should be able to explain that, to hide the weapon, because they like movies, to let their accomplice escape, to mix up the killing order, I'm guessing.
I see!
Much like
The reason the killer imitated 2 of the murders from the movie was so he'd mix up the killing order.
Much like the third case in Trigger Happy Havoc. Getting the killing order mixed up.
Then... Hiyoko was actually killed before Ibuki?
A valid line of reasoning.
Yeah, it's valid. The condition of Ibuki's body suggests that as well.
What do you mean? If you're going to cry and beg like that, then I guess I'll hear about the condition of Ibuki's body.
Whatever you say, Gundam.
I'm not even crying.
You tell him.
I'll let you sob as much as you want later. Just hurry up and tell me before I change my mind.
What a jerk!
Oh, I see. You want me to explain it to you, right? Because you don't understand what I'm saying, right?
Rub it in his face.
An even bigger jerk? Impossible!
Look, Ibuki died because she hanged herself, right? That means when she was still alive, her feet were touching the floor.
What's wrong with that?
Bloodstains on the soles of her slippers.
But it seems Ibuki was still standing when Hiyoko was killed. That would mean Hiyoko was killed before Ibuki.
How light. Your words are so light as the sylph's feather. Your opponent is out of your league. It is too absurd to try to perplex me so inadequately.
Hold it, mate.
Man, he's being annoying again.
First and foremost, you claim Ibuki's feet were touching the floor when Hiyoko was killed. How can a low-class creature with no psychic abilities like you know something like that?
Because she was doing something that's only possible if her feet were on the floor.
The look on her face. Yep, that's probably what a lot of us are feeling right now.
It seems you suffer from a pathetic delusion.
You're one to talk.
Anyway, if this continues, we're just going to talk in circles. I think it's best if we clarify Ibuki's status when Hiyoko was killed. This is going to be something to do with the blood on the soles of the slippers. Blood on the soles, there we are. Yep, that one, I'm guessing.
When Hiyoko died, Ibuki's feet were on the floor.
Yes, they were.
I am telling you to present your evidence!
Did you see her walking?
If her feet were on the floor, was there any sign she stepped on something?
Oh. That
Were
looks
there
like
even any footprints at the crime scene?
That's a consent one, that is.
Maybe her feet were on the floor.
I have to consent with Sonia, I'm guessing.
But she was like sitting or something. So instead, there'd be a mark on her ass!
Oh, Jesus Christ, dude.
Weak, I say!
Wow.
It doesn't even pierce my heart!
Damn. Mark on the ass. Yep, is that really true? Indeed it is.
When Hiyoko
Sonia.
died, Ibuki's feet...
I am telling you to Did you
We're
see
going to
her
rescue
walking?
this.
If her feet were on, was there any sign she stepped on something?
Got it.
I agree with that.
Consent, everybody.
Just as Sonia said, Ibuki stepped on something. That something was blood. There were faint bloodstains on the soles of her slippers.
That is not Ibuki's blood, right? She suffered no external injuries.
Then it's Hiyoko's blood!
Hiyoko's only wound was a fatal slice on her neck. And she died almost instantly, right?
If Ibuki stepped on her blood...
It means Ibuki was still standing when Hiyoko was mortally wounded. Which means Ibuki was still alive at the exact moment Hiyoko was killed.
Don't underestimate the power of the evil eye!
Of course he's gonna interject here.
Is that it? A shepherd dressed in his Sunday's finest still reeks of lamb, Hajime Hinata.
I mean, that's a very poetic way of putting it, but nice.
Does that mean you have a rebuttal?
Does that mean you have a rebuttal? That's a good line.
Giving a bit away there.
But, are you sure you're sure? If I show you how serious I am, this world might be destroyed, you know!
Sure.
You're
Okay.
so frightened you can't even make a sound. It seems you've realized our difference in status. However, the time for conviction starts now! You better entertain me to the fullest!
I'll entertain you to the fullest, old boy, don't you worry. We're Scrap used for hanging, motel room, scrap, step candle, smudge on the floor. That'll be the one. Yeah, give me the smudge on the floor. Here we are.
You're saying the blood on Ibuki's feet belonged to he- Ha! Impossible!
Yeah.
Try to remember the crime scene. There was no blood on the- You can't step on blood that was never there.
There was blood on the floor.
Just
Oh,
about
I'm not
one
doing
minute.
this.
Did you see a nice nightmare?
Okay, hold on. I think I know what to do. Yep, I've already seen the opening.
You're saying the blood on Ibuki's feet- Ha! Impossible! Try to remember the crime scene. There was no blood. You can't
shit.
step on blood that was never there.
I didn't mean to do that. I ballsed it up.
Just about 1 minute. Did you see a nice nightmare?
Okay, hold on. I'm
You're
not very
saying
good
the
at
blood
this.
on Ibuki- Ha! Impossible! Try to remember the crime scene. There was no blood on the floor.
Yes, there was, you
Allow me to cut
bastard.
through those words!
Got him.
That's not it. The reason there was no blood on the floor is because the killer wiped it away afterward.
Don't say such foolish things! You don't have proof of that at all!
Yes, I do. If you look closely, there's a streak on the floor where blood was wiped away.
When the killer tried to hide Hyoko's body, they probably cleaned the blood at the same time, but Ibuki must have already stepped in it, and the killer probably didn't even realize it.
The reason they wiped off the blood on the floor was so we'd mix up the order of the murders, right?
Indeed.
Even if they're able to hide Hyoko's body, it'd be bad if her blood was left out in the open.
I'm still trying to get over the whole thickening the pillow with wallpaper thing.
Plus, Ibuki's body was left out in the open, and it wasn't bleeding from any open wounds at all.
Unless they've literally got like a floor-to-ceiling wrap of wallpaper and they've literally just got the whole stack and just wound it round and round and round and round tight, you know, nice and tight. I guess that could work, but it would be very time-consuming. I'm going off on a bit of a tangent here about the whole pillar again, but whatever.
Hyoko's body was probably wrapped in duct tape to stop her bleeding. Actually, the bleeding will stop once the heart stops beating, so I don't think they had to go that far.
Aside from Mikon, none of us were aware of that fact, so the killer probably did not know it either.
Maybe the heater was running inside the music venue so it would screw with Mikon's autopsy?
Indeed, possible.
That's right! I didn't know the time of death because of the heater!
If the time of death wasn't mentioned in the Monokuma file just to keep concrete evidence from us.
Yep. Since we have all this evidence, there's no one else who wants to object, right? Then it's decided. Hyoko was killed before Ibuki.
It appears that it is wiser to retreat for now.
It's alright, dude, you just admit when you're wrong.
Fine then. But regardless of good or evil, there's no deceit in upholding one's convictions.
Can't you just shut up and back off?
Now then, let us resume our debate.
Wait a sec. There's something I want to run by Monokuma first.
Huh? Again? Didn't something like this happen last time too?
Hey, if the victim actually committed suicide, what are we supposed to do?
Suicide.
The same as always. You have to vote for who the killer is. Think about it. A suicide means you've killed the most important existence of all, yourself. Unfortunately, that means there's no Blacken to punish, but I guess in a pinch, I can always punish Monami.
Why me?
Nagito? What do you mean? If the victim actually committed suicide?
Well, I mean, I understand Hyoko's death, but I'm wondering if Ibuki was really murdered.
She's suggesting that maybe Ibuki killed Hyoko and then killed herself? But... no... yeah... what about the video, then?
For
I
example,
don't know.
it's possible Ibuki killed Hyoko, and then committed suicide due to a guilty conscience, right?
That's totally impossible! Then she never would have killed her to begin with!
She was afflicted by the despair disease, remember? That means anything can happen.
No.
But if Ibuki's the killer, she wouldn't have been able to falsify the sequence of the murders, right? After Hajime saw the hanged body, the sudden appearance of Hyoko's body soon after means...
The killer had to be alive at that time.
Then she was alive! When Hajime first discovered Ibuki, she was just pretending to be dead. If she waited until Hajime left, that's when she could have made her move and mess with the crime scene.
But she was hanging. We found the noose. We found the rope. I mean, there is theoretically a way you could kind of hang, quote-unquote, yourself without actually killing yourself, but, I mean, the whole reason why hanging actually kills you is because the amount of weight from your body being basically kind of held by a rope around your neck, that distribution of weight straight onto the neck, onto a fairly fragile part of your body, is what kills you. Because it breaks your neck, and it, you know, it chokes you. So obviously the solution to that is, you know, to have kind of like a system whereby you hang yourself in a way where you have multiple ropes connecting to larger, stronger parts of your body so that it distributes the weight more equally. So are we going down that route? Are we going to say that, you know, oh no, there's another rope here that Ibuki actually secretly had which connects to her middle or something like that? But having said that, we didn't see anything like that, so I've got no reason to believe that such a thing exists.
She hanged herself, remember? There's no fucking way she could have faked that.
I mean, I just went off a bit of tangent there, but yeah.
And if she was going to fake her death, I think she wouldn't have chosen hanging. Her body would have been defenseless in that state. If anyone touched her, that alone would have ruined her plan.
I see. So that means...
Indeed.
There's no doubt that someone killed those two. I'm glad. Now I'm free to search for the killer.
What the heck?
There's still one more issue on my mind. If Ibuki didn't commit suicide, then just what was that video Hajime saw?
Okay, now we're getting onto this. And this is something that I think could be something that was faked, maybe, by the killer, perhaps. Okay, I'm just going to jump cut. I'm going to get myself a fresh cup of tea, so 1 second, everybody. Right, I'm back. Right, got my cup of tea here. Checked also the recording time so far. We've been doing for about an hour or just over. So yeah, like I said earlier, I'll probably split this trial over 2 episodes, depending on how long it is. So yeah, we'll keep going for a bit so far. I won't do a proper outro for episode 25 or anything. I'll just sort of, you know, fade out, to be continued and all that. But for now, we'll keep going. Huh? Right, so let's...
According to that video you saw, Ibuki was by herself when she climbed the stepladder, right?
Still think that this could have been a decoy, myself.
Then does that mean someone forced her to do it?
Forced? Perhaps they used hypnotism or something?
No need for that, considering that she was under the effects of the despair disease.
I don't know anything about that.
Don't say it all proud.
Putting that aside, it seems obvious that the killer did something. So, maybe we should figure out who was able to do whatever that was.
So, an alibi. Then our plan is to destroy the weakest alibi. Since Hajime has seen the video, it is clear what time the crime took place.
Is it though?
But just to be sure, that surveillance camera doesn't have a record function, right?
It's a cheap-ass surveillance camera, you know? There's no way it'd have some kind of sweet recording feature.
Yes, but can we confirm that's not the same as saying it doesn't? Is that actually saying yes or no? Or is it saying no for definite?
Then, the video Hajime saw was actually live?
What time did Hajime see that video?
I saw it at the hospital, right before Monokuma's morning announcement. And I saw the body at the music venue a little after Monokuma's announcement.
So Ibuki hanged herself right before Monokuma's announcement. And since we established that Hiyoko was killed before Ibuki, that means the time that the murders occurred was before and during the announcement.
Then, we just have to find the person who doesn't have an alibi during that time?
Now then, I shall issue my decree.
Let Operation Destroy the Weakest Alibi commence!
Oh, you're going all royal on us, princess. Right, so who doesn't have an alibi? Becomes counts events, Montevideos for Hiko, Sonia, movie invitation ticket. Okay, let's have a listen to some of these arguments then.
We can exclude the sick people like me and Akane, right?
And what about the others?
Right before the morning announcement, I was totally sleeping in my motel room.
I think everyone at the motel was doing that.
So everyone who stayed at the motel doesn't have an alibi.
What about you guys?
I was where I was supposed to be, my own cottage.
That's not an alibi.
Aside from those afflicted by the disease, if nobody has an alibi, then Operation Destroy the Weakest Alibi has failed!
I think, well, Mikan has kind of an alibi for her and Fuyuhiko, sort of. Person who doesn't have an alibi for that time.
We can exclude the sick people like me and Akane, right?
And what about the others?
Right before the morning announcement, I was totally sleeping in my motel.
I think everyone at the motel was doing.
So everyone who stayed. What about you guys? I was where I was supposed to.
That's not an alibi.
Aside from those afflicted, if nobody has an alibi, then...
Oh no, not that. Try again.
Crap!
Sometimes I'm terrible at these.
We can exclude the sick people like me and
Shit,
Akane, right?
Wait. Let me just check the accounts again, please, because I forgot what they were. Okay, that was about... Well, Sonia's was about Hiyoko in a room being distraught. For Hiko, check the movie theatre, they split up. Okay. Mikan, Hajime the whole time. Check on everyone and realise that Ibuki had disappeared, so maybe it's Mikan's account I'm supposed to use, not...
And what about the others?
Right before the morning announcement, I was totally sleeping.
I think everyone.
So everyone who stayed. What about you guys? I was where I was supposed.
That's not.
Aside from those afflicted by the disease, if nobody has an alibi...
There we go.
No, that's wrong!
Yep, there we go. Shot it with the wrong account.
Hold on. Not all of us are missing an alibi. In fact, Mikan and I both have alibis.
You two have alibis?
Up until I saw that hanging video, Mikan and I were actually together for a while.
We even woke up together that morning.
Don't betray our secret, Mikan.
Hey, what kind of situation is that?
I accidentally fell asleep on top of Hajime.
Accidentally, quote unquote. Oh, you don't look like you're too pleased about
Too
that.
much info.
Yeah, it's not like that. She just came to tell me Nagato's condition had improved.
And we went to the hospital together afterward. So we were together until right before the announcement.
I get it. You guys have alibis.
If that's the case, the killer must be someone else.
It's better if we think about it like that. The killer decided to falsify the murder sequence to hide the actual time of the crime anyway.
So it's inevitable that an alibi for both before and during the morning announcement would be very important.
It feels like Operation Destroy the Weakest Alibi has backed us into a corner instead.
But committing an imitation murder, is that really all it was? Faking the time the crime occurred by falsifying the murder sequence, hiding their alibi in the process? Was that the only reason the killer made both bodies imitate the movie?
Are you saying there was another reason?
I feel really bad for confusing you guys so much, but that's how I feel. I think the killer had a completely different reason for falsifying the murder sequence.
You're suggesting then that maybe... Are we getting onto this whole idea now that Hiyoko wasn't an intended victim? She was someone who just wandered in, and as a result, the killer had to kill her. She wasn't, you know, planning... She wasn't planned to be a victim. That's what I was trying to say. Get me words minced up. Still getting them minced up even now. The killer had a different reason. If that's the case, are we still in the killer's trap? Inside a trap set by one of us? If so, then whose and what kind of trap is it? Okay. Oh, are we getting an intermission? Yep, we are. Intermission time.
Hiya!
Why, hello there, mon ami. The moss balls sure look tasty today.
Stop it!
Don't characterise me as someone who lives off moss balls. And here's some chance time. Oh, what's that? Now then, mon ami's appeal time starts right now. Huh? Appeal time? Oh god, gas from my tea. Coming up my old throat. Your kind-hearted big brother is going to give you the chance to reclaim your honour. Good luck. Show those jerks who treat you like a red-headed stepchild who's boss. That's 99% your fault. While you were whining, your time's already running out, so please make your appeal simple. About 30,000 words or so. That's too long. It'll just be a boring appeal. Come on, if your appeal is successful, there might be merchandise opportunities heading your way. Then, I'm Usami, magical miracle girl, star Usami. I'm an itty-bitty girl who's sweet like milk. Jeez, and I thought a certain robot's little sister was supposed to be the best.
What a disappointment!
Who are you talking about? I've no clue whatsoever. Thank you for that momentary distraction, you two. Ugh. Save, yes. Slot number 18. Class trial reopened.
I'm Monami. Once again, I've been put in such an unreasonable situation. Seriously, he's like the king of unreasonableness. Why did it turn out like this? We were supposed to have a fun, friendly school trip, but it turned out all bloody instead. No! This definitely cannot be allowed. That's why I want you to remember this. Everyone, do your very best. Don't lose to yourself. And don't forget to save frequently.
Thank you for the fourth wall break. The reason the killer did an imitation murder is a reason other than falsifying the murder sequence. Does something like that even exist?
Huh. It suddenly got quiet in here. Did I confuse you? If so, I wish I could die from self-loathing.
Man, this again.
If that's the case, it would have been just dandy if they had gone ahead and killed me too.
Let's not get distracted by this guy wallowing around in his own self-pity.
If that happened, the imitation would have been perfect. So why didn't they do that?
Well, it's against the rules to kill 3 people in the first place.
That rule is too harsh. I couldn't get killed because of that.
Seriously, just shut up already! Shut up forever!
Is he taking it to heart?
But I'm thinking about it again, and he's totally right. It feels incomplete.
Because they didn't kill 3 people like the movie did? That's only because of Monokuma's rule.
It's not just that. Come on, try to remember the content of the movie.
Indeed.
About the lion that got killed second.
That's the one Hiyoko's body was imitating, right?
Even though we're calling it an imitation, the lion was actually pinned by arrows, right?
Yeah, they've been talking about it like it's an imitation, and all this while, you know, I haven't said anything, but I've been sat there thinking, what are you on about? It didn't look anything like the movie.
But Hiyoko's body was suspended by common household duct tape.
Maybe they just used a common substitute because it was too difficult to imitate the arrows.
Or maybe it wasn't an imitation.
Well, that's probably it, but that attitude is what makes this feel incomplete. If falsifying the murder sequence was the killer's plan from the very beginning, they should have taken steps to properly imitate it.
But if we never realized it was a half-assed imitation, their entire plan would have been completely useless.
What are you trying to say? Are you saying the imitation wasn't planned?
I'm saying Hiyoko's murder wasn't.
There we go. Get to this. The thought that's been dangling in my head all this time.
What?
Hiyoko's murder wasn't planned.
I understand the imitation wasn't enough, but aren't you making a bunch of assumptions?
It's not just the poor imitation. There are also other strange details.
Strange details? Like what?
Like, for example, why did Hiyoko go to the music venue?
Sonia, you need to speak up. Why did Hiyoko go to the music venue?
So, you're saying the truth behind Hiyoko's murder is hidden?
I have no freaking clue what you're trying to say.
She's saying that it wasn't planned, you idiots.
However, this is getting quite interesting. My 4 dark devas of destruction are getting riled up.
Why Hiyoko went to the music venue, if that's the key to all this. I need to find that out, no matter the cost. Okay. Is he going to give me Sonia's account here? No? Okay. Or maybe I have to lift something. Alright, let's see.
Why did Hiyoko go to the music venue? There's no way we'd know that!
Maybe the killer summoned her.
Nope, not that.
If that's not it, maybe she got abducted by the killer.
Nope.
No, maybe. She went of her own free will.
Or she was guided by the will of causality.
No. Wait, it's something to do with Sonia, yeah.
Why did Hiyoko go to the music venue? There's no way we'd know that!
Maybe the killer summoned her.
If that's not it, maybe she got abducted by the killer.
Just depends here on what bullet I'm supposed to use.
She went of her own free will.
I agree with that.
There we go. So it was the motel room key one, right?
It's just as Sonia said. She went to the music venue of her own free will.
So, exactly as I assumed.
If no one called for her, then why did she go?
Hiyoko locked herself in her room because she was being overly cautious of the despair disease, you know? I don't think a person like that would leave their room just because someone called for them.
There's no way she got abducted?
Come on, Sonia, speak up.
Hiyoko locked the room she was staying in before she went out.
If she was forcibly taken from her room, there's no way she would have had time to lock it.
The killer could have locked her door, right? Just to hide the fact Hiyoko got abducted.
Nope, because it was in the kimono sash.
Then they couldn't have hidden her room key that deep in her kimono. They would have put it somewhere more obvious. Otherwise, there's no point in messing with the crime scene if nobody finds the key. At the time, you were the one who actually took out the key, right? Then something like that...
I won't lose!
Oh. Hello?
Are you saying my gut was wrong? This should be my first and last highlight of the day. Why won't you just let me shine already?
Jeez.
No! That's not the issue.
Don't take it so personally.
Shut up! Enough with your fancy talk. I'll shut you up right now.
Okay. A rebuttal showdown. Set by the candle, so much on the floor, but can't count. Sonia's account. Yes, I think it sounds
Hiyoko was locked inside her room, right? She definitely got abducted or something. The killer forced their way into Hiyoko's room. Forcibly abducted her! The girl is so small and weak-looking. And that's why the killer targeted her!
Go. Advance, here we go.
Hiyoko's room was locked. The key was deep inside her kimono, remember? It's more likely that Hiyoko locked the door herself.
The killer was the one who locked the door! So what if the key was in her kimono? Maybe the killer just put it there later!
Advance again.
There's no reason for the killer to put the key in Hiyoko's kimono. The killer probably didn't realize she even had the key.
Hold on! Try remembering Hiyoko, her kimono! There's only one reason her kimono would be that messed up. She fought the killer!
Allow me to cut through those words!
Okay, I thought I'd nearly fucked it up there, but no, we're okay.
The reason Hiyoko's kimono was messed up was because she wasn't able to properly wear it.
Wear her kimono?
Yeah, it's also the reason why she decided to go out on her own.
Hiyoko seemed to be really struggling with wearing her kimono. I believe that was one of the reasons she locked herself in her room.
Here we are.
That is why I informed her. I told her that there was a full-length mirror at the music venue, and I suggested that she use it. Then the reason her kimono was messed up wasn't because she fought the killer.
Oh, sorry. Rich heard me slurping my tea.
Yeah, she went to the venue on her own just to fix her messed up kimono.
I get it. I lost. Boil me, burn me, take off my clothes, do whatever you want to me.
Who the fuck would say something like that? Jeez.
Hajime, now's your chance. Make her admit defeat. Or better yet, make her do a little something something.
Somebody punch this guy in the face, please. Hell no.
Then, the killer probably couldn't have assumed that Hiyoko would go to the music venue.
Though that may not apply to Sonia, since she provided Hiyoko with that information.
Though I knew she would go there, there is no way I could have predicted when she would arrive.
Don't go doubting Miss Sonia, you cretin. I'll put you and your hamsters 6 feet under.
You cretin. You cretin. What's that pronunciation?
Kazuichi, it seems you have quite the fashion sense. Do you want me to incinerate your clothes? Perhaps I could do that while you're wearing them.
Let's not start getting into a fight now.
Gundam, please stop! For his sake!
Huh? What do you mean, for my sake?
Of course. I've already overlooked no less than 10 opportunities to kill you.
Even if the killer couldn't predict it, why did Hiyoko get killed in the music venue?
Because she stumbled in on something she wasn't supposed to see. Come on, guys, use your brain.
The only thing I can think of is, it was an unfortunate coincidence.
Coincidence?
When she went to the venue by herself, she was probably just unlucky and walked in on the crime scene.
She was killed so there wouldn't be any loose ends?
It probably happened when the killer was preparing to kill Ibuki. The killer most likely had already placed the hemp bag over her head, and without hesitation...
Dramatic zoom in.
Killed Hiyoko.
Red screen of death.
Because the killer used that coincidence for their crime, it made this case even trickier.
That's the reason they imitated the movie to falsify the murder sequence.
Which means that low-down scoundrel didn't plan on committing imitation murders at first.
Then what was the killer actually planning to do? They've been cunning this far. There's no way they'd kill Ibuki without a plan.
Do you have any ideas?
Damn, we don't know the most important part.
The killer's plan from the beginning. I'm pretty sure we're very, very close, Hey,
Nagito, any ideas?
Oh, we're going to him, are we?
Hey, how long are you gonna stay quiet?
Oh, am I allowed to speak? I'm so happy I'm getting goosebumps. Everyone actually needs help from scum like me.
So what do you think?
I was thinking about it while I had my mouth shut. But now I'm finally able to come to a conclusion. Ibuki definitely didn't commit suicide.
Please tell me you have more than that.
Huh? What are you talking about?
I thought there might be a possibility that she faked her death and tampered with the crime scene. But now I remember. There was blood on Ibuki's slippers.
Dude! Dude! Ears! Use them!
So if she faked her death and walked around the music venue tampering with the crime scene, there'd be bloody footprints left in various places throughout the venue. So that's why I think there's no way she faked her death. There's no way Ibuki committed suicide.
You know, we already finished talking about that a while ago.
Oh, God.
Huh? Really?
Yeah, I think you should just be quiet again for now.
That's annoying. I guess I should just awkwardly laugh about it then.
Are you freaking kidding me? There's no limit to how useless you can be!
No, wait a minute. If Ibuki had blood on her feet, there'd be footprints all over the place if she kept walking around.
That's strange. That's very strange.
Strange? What's strange?
I see. It's not something we finished talking about. Those footprints are still an important clue that we completely overlooked. Just as Nagito said, if she had blood on her feet, she would have left footprints. Then why? Why weren't there any footprints on the step ladder? Interesting. Well, there's blood on the side, but not on the... Okay. Maybe it was being a bit premature on criticising old Nagito.
I can prove it with this!
It's a good point, actually.
If Ibuki used the stepladder to hang herself, it's strange that there weren't any footprints on it.
Huh? There weren't?
Yeah, that stepladder was completely clean. No footprints or bloodstains at all.
What are the ones on the side? Huh?
You noticed such a small detail! How amazing! This is truly the talent of a chosen ultimate!
Alright, what are you talking about? You were obviously leading us to this. That's why you brought up the suicide topic after all this time, Nagito, Komaeda, you're definitely someone I shouldn't underestimate.
But didn't you say you saw that video of Ibuki climbing the stepladder? Then I think there's no doubt that she really did climb it.
Unless there was something funny about that video.
Yes. Finally, the big question.
I see. So there was some kind of trick arranged in that video,
But that's something only Hajime would know, since he's the only one who saw that video.
Oh, so just as I thought, it comes down to that. The mystery surrounding this incident is contained in that video, Whether or not we can reach that hidden truth is all up to me,
Hajime, I leave it in your hands.
As long as I leave this to you, I won't tell you to do your best, but oh well, you should get started already.
Yeah, I'll definitely try.
Alright, if there was some hidden clue in that video, I should have seen something strange as I watched it, I'm the only one who can clear that up. I'm the only one who actually saw that video. Yes, can we stop with the monologuing and just get on with it? So I'm the only one who can do it, The hanging video that I saw, based on everything we know from the debates thus far, I should be able to figure out what's strange. Spot selection. Is it something to do with the fact that her hair's not there? The handbag that was covering her face, based on what I saw in the video. I don't think that looks okay. Right, well it's not that then, okay. What are we looking at then? We're looking maybe at the curtains? Or the absence of a blood stain, perhaps? This part, based on what I saw in the video, this doesn't seem particularly strange. No, not that apparently either. What are we looking at here? The curtains? Because we saw those curtains in the hotel... I keep calling it the hotel, the hospital conference room. The black curtain in the background, based on the video alone, I don't really know if the curtain's suspicious. Fuck me! What am I looking for, This? Stepladder? Okay, stepladder, apparently.
That's right, I remember now. There was definitely something strange about that video.
Can you explain it to us?
What's strange is that stepladder I mentioned earlier.
I mean, there's all sorts of things freaking strange about it. Why the stepladder in particular?
It's true that the steps of that stepladder weren't dirty, but on one side, there was a bloodstain, right on the left side of the stepladder.
Yes, but this now contradicts what you were saying before about there being nothing on it at all. I mean, well, it doesn't contradict the idea of the footsteps, just... I found it a bit strange when before you conveniently forgot that there were bloodstains there.
However, that contradicts the video I saw at the hospital.
Okay. Yeah, you're not
there
wrong.
There weren't any bloodstains on the stepladder in the video. It was completely clean.
You're not wrong, I did see that, but there's so many other things we can potentially talk about in this video. Are we going to get to them?
That is truly strange. If the video showed the moment of Ibuki's death, then Hiyoko should have already been dead by that point.
Even so, the fact is the stepladder had blood on it at the actual crime scene. But the stepladder in the video was completely bloodless.
And there's no way the video was recorded in advance. If that's the case, the only thing I can think of is...
It's possible those two stepladders were completely different.
Yes.
Wait, are you saying there were two stepladders?
Yep, that's exactly
it. But where
it.
would you find another stepladder? There was only one stepladder in the music venue.
Was the one in the hospital?
Then one of the stepladders was somewhere other than the music venue.
What do you mean?
You're suggesting that the stepladder in the video isn't the only thing that's different. Am I right? That's amazing, Chiaki! All that gaming has given you incredible deduction skills! Is it okay to say that?
What are you two talking about?
Alright, the stepladder isn't the only thing that's different. Chiaki said that the stepladder was at a different place, but if that's the case, the thing that's different between that video and the actual scene of the crime is that thing the place where the killer did something? Yes. Hangman's Gambit. Is it going to be hospital or... Ooh. Ooh, I don't know what word this is. That's too short for hospital. Oh god. Okay, right, let's just head down. Oh god, do I need to crouch? I do. Oh great, health! Oh thank god. Oh no, 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 go down, go down, go down! Oof. Oh, fuck you. Oh no, 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 no. How many fire zombies are there? There's about 4 of them! Are you fucking serious? What is that bullshit? Seriously? Oh no, and I didn't quick save after! Ah! No! Oh god.